U.S. Department of Transportation Drug Testing Regulations, an orientation for supervisory personnel. What are the U.S. Department of Transportation's DOT drug testing regulations all about? The Omnibus Transportation Employee Testing Act of 1991 requires drug and alcohol testing of safety-sensitive transportation employees in aviation, trucking, railroads, mass transit, pipelines, and other transportation industries. The DOT publishes rules on who must conduct drug and alcohol tests, how to conduct those tests, and what procedures to use when testing. These regulations cover all transportation employers, safety-sensitive transportation employees, and service agents, roughly 10 million people. The rules and regulations are in writing, and it's called 49 Code of Federal Regulations, or CFR, Part 40, the Office of Drug and Alcohol Policy and Compliance, ODAPC. These are the instructions that authorize the publishing, implementation, and the official interpretation of the Federal Act, the Omnibus Transportation Employee Testing Act of 1991. Now, let's discuss some important terms. An alcohol screening test is used to determine whether an employee may have a prohibited concentration of alcohol in his or her breath or saliva sample. An MRO is a medical review officer. This is a licensed physician. An MRO keeps the technical information about an employee's negative and canceled test for 1 year. The records are kept for 5 years on positives and refusals. If a test is positive, the MRO will phone to discuss the findings with the employee. An employee is a person who is designated in a DOT-regulated industry as someone who must be subject to a drug test. The term includes individuals currently performing safety-sensitive functions designated in DOT agency regulations, and also applicants for employment subject to pre-employment testing. A designated employer representative is an employee authorized by the employer to take immediate action or actions to remove employees from safety-sensitive duties. If you are a supervisor overseeing the duties and functions of DOT-regulated positions, this is you. Typically, this means causing an employee to be removed from covered duties and making required decisions in the testing and evaluation processes. The designated employer representative also receives test results and other communications for the employer consistent with the requirements of this part.